Hey everybody, I'm Ryan McCaffrey with IGN, joined by Gary Carr, the creative director at Lionhead Studios on Fable the Journey, which we're here checking out. We've looked at a combat section already, we've looked at the camp, which is sort of a, you can mellow out there and do some other non-combat things. So here we're checking out the temple, sort of the puzzly sections of the game, right Gary?
Yeah, so throughout the game you get new magical abilities and you collect things called will stones, and will stones are kept in temples. And these temples are kind of trials to see if you're worthy to actually upgrade your magical abilities. Right. So this is one of the 3 or 4 temples we have in the game. There's usually an hour plus worth of gameplay in the temple, and it mixes up combat, it mixes up puzzle elements and exploration. So here we are, we're being guided around this temple by these 2 wisps called Bob and Finley. There are a couple of cool little characters who bicker with each other. This is one of my favourite sections because I think this is some of the best writing is in this temple. I really find these 2 guys great fun to listen to.
Is it fair to say that the temples are a little bit like Zelda dungeons, but with a bit of a Fable twist?
Yeah, they've got some different elements. Each temple is different, and I think that's a really good call. I mean, they have that Zelda-ish feel, but each temple has a different theme, and it's usually themed around the spell that you're upgrading. Now, this particular spell is a fire spell, and this is the Forge of Fire. So this one's got a kind of industrial kind of feel to it. So here we go. I've got to try and what I'm going to do here is try and work out.
That's your left hand push and tether spell. Yeah. Your right hand is your bolt.
Absolutely. So the tether is kind of your hand in the world quite often. So I can tether hold of things like this, and I can pull my hand down, and I'm trying to see if I can find what I know is a flit switch, which is there we go.
Yes.
So with my other hand now, I can basically fire at the flit switch, and it's going to move on. So these flit switches move around, and you kind of work out how they operate the machinery, which allows you to progress in the level. So I'm going to fire at it, and it's activating these cogs, as you see, which is now lowering down a walkway for later on. Yeah. Now I'm kind of stuck here, so I need to work out how to get there. So I can see, if I look around by using my head tracking, and Bob and Finley are giving me some clues right now, that up there's a ladder.
So where's your poor horse during all this while we're navigating the temple?
Well, luckily I've got Teresa looking after the horse while I'm busy saving the planet. But there we go, I've just dropped the ladder down, and we're going to move through. There we go. So, you know, it's great to fight, but you know, and it's great to sort of get on the horse, but you know, this kind of breaks up and gives you some different elements of gameplay and using magic in different ways, not just to blow things up. So,
right, because 12 or 15 hours of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely,
boring, so.
Absolutely. So my flit switch is hiding somewhere behind this grill, so I need to work out how to get to it. So I'm going to try and move these cogs along. So I know pretty much at this point that I can use my tether, so I'm going to move these grills around. I've got to try and get the flit switch into the cog there, because if I just fire at the flit switch, it kind of doesn't work because the grill's in the way. So I'm just going to move these grills along. Let's see if I can get to it now. Yes, I can, so I'll just fire. There we go, and now it's moved somewhere else. Still can't activate it, so I'm just going to shuffle some of these grills around quite simply. There we go. I can fire at it again. There we are. It's moved along a little. And there we are.
Well, easy enough so far, but these will get a lot more complex and complicated later.
Absolutely. This is just giving you a kind of an idea of how the mechanics work, so when we get further into the dungeon, we'll make the puzzles a lot more complex. So I can progress into another section. The bridge is now down, so we'll move through deeper into the dungeon. As I said, these dungeons tend to take about an hour plus to play through, and it's really a trial to see if you're worthy to actually take the next willstone. So I'm hoping to upgrade for the fire spell.
That's interesting that you said they take about an hour. Is that about how long you're targeting a session? Because even though we are sitting down playing Kinect, the Kinect configuration utility at the beginning of the game does say, well, you can't really slouch back. You kind of got to be sitting up, so you still probably want to take a break from time to time.
I think I tend to slouch back more when I'm using the magic, but when I'm on the horse, I naturally sit up. It doesn't require I do so, but people will configure their room how they want, and I think your play times will be longer than playing a conventional standing Connect game because you're more comfortable. Now, here we go. The wisps have just flown by me. There's a little combat section here. I'm just going to take out some of these rock knights. So these are quite, I call them popping candy because they're not particularly difficult to attack. Now you saw I had 2 tendrils there. I've leveled up. We're further in the game now. I can use more than 1 tendril at a time if they're in close enough proximity. So I can actually take out 2 guys at once. Let's just throw this guy around a little bit. And I've also got the ability to ricochet my bolt spell. Slow him. There we go. He's digging in a little bit there. Once again, I can still do all that cool kind of redirecting the spell. Let's progress forward a little bit. I'll try and...
Maybe you guys should be making a Harry Potter game with this technology. I really feel like...
well, it does feel cool throwing things out of your hand and into the world. You know, it was the first most... You know, it was so pleasing in the early prototypes just to be able to simply just throw my hands... This guy's tough. I've got.
Yeah, he's shielding himself.
So what I'm doing is I'm holding in place with one hand and shooting with the other. So I'll do that now. This is kind of the beauty of just using your gestures. I'm holding him, and then I'm using my other hand to take him out. There we are.
Stubborn one.
He is. He's an elite, so he can block. There we go. I think we're through this section. Oh, there's a few more. I'll try and do something a bit showboaty. Throw that around the corner and back. There we are.
Oh.
So I'm using both hands. And I can upgrade again. So let's get something bigger and better. Let's see what we can get now.
We've, of course, been cheating our way around the game. So that's why we keep getting this level 1 upgrade.
It's right. That's exactly right. It's assuming every time I get to a certain point,
so we've seen this already.
Yeah.
Maybe just...
We'll just cut out of here. Absolutely.
Back to the action.
Let's pull that spell right back.
He thinks he's out of the woods,
yeah.
But no.
Once again, I can head track to look. This gives me a little bit more choice. I'll throw these guys. Let's see if I can tether more than one at a time here. Throw him. No.
They just like to dig right in, don't they?
These guys do. These with the pointier claws and the pointier heads dig in. But I can see I'm ricocheting multiple bolt spells around because I've leveled up. It's hitting 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time, yeah. Which is quite a nice extra.
Now, with the way the experience system works, do you gain more experience for these kind of more complicated combo attacks?
Yes, absolutely. We basically we look out for feats you do. If you throw creatures in the air and then catch them again and juggle them, we reward you, and that gives you extra experience. Yeah, we want to reward people who are quite flashy rather than just spammy.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the mana bar is to try and reduce people just throwing magic constantly. But you can do that. You can do that. But I'd love people to get really quite, you know, sophisticated in the way they play with their magic system. So just take a few more of these guys out. There we go.
They are just, they're almost like the flood in Halo. Yeah. The little spores, just pop them.
Oop, one more just creeping down here. It's great because Finn and Bob are just explaining that, you know, they've had these guys around for so long, polluting their temple. It's great that a real man's come along to sort things out. And we'll just get to one more puzzle. I think, you know, that would be a nice point. Here we are. We're now going up towards the upper floors. Now there's a lift here. I need to try and work out how to activate. So I'm going to throw some magic in the world, pull down my little flit switch printer. There we go, send it over there. Obviously I kind of know what to do.
I don't, this is all new to me.
Spoilers, I'm afraid. Now I can fire at the switch and it seems to turn the cog, but it I need to kind of join it up to those other cogs over there. So I'm going to throw my...
pull it over.
Pull it over. So I'm just going to try and tether and pull. And then...
Now send it.
Now send it. There we go. And now we're turning the cogs. Let's have a look up there. And here comes my lift with a little surprise in there. I'll just take him out.
Well, that is a little taste of the temples in Fable the Journey. So yeah, we've got horseback riding, we've got camps, we've got little side quests, little pit stops along the road. We have the temples, we have plenty of combat sections, both on horseback, or rather in the carriage, and on foot. So we'll look for Fable the Journey on October 9th for Connect. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you very much. Cheers.